Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 7th of September 2021. So yesterday futures rose, Europe and China bounced, with the US closed for a holiday for the Labour Day celebrations. As I said yesterday, whichever direction the market generally picks when the US is closed, it maintains that direction, and yesterday it was a one-way bet to the upside. And it says here, even if the prospect of sustained monetary support is helping to lift the market sentiment, today's session is likely to stay muted but technical. What I mean by technical is moving to the upside, especially given the holiday in the US and the lack of macro data releases. And that said, this is starting to make news, and I do have a friend in Bali who has a contact in the banks in China. And he said to me for the last few weeks that they're very concerned that something big is going to come out of China. Now, whether it's this or not, I don't know. But Evergrande bonds halted amid liquidation panic as contagion, that's the interesting word there, contagion, spreads to other Chinese junk. We'll just have to wait and see. Because of the secretiveness of the Chinese, we won't know until obviously this has hit the fan like COVID. You only get snippets of information and eventually it sort of gets released. D-Day for China's Lehman may have finally arrived. And if you go back 13 years, those of you that have been trading long enough and remember the 2008 crash will remember what happened with Lehman. So maybe this is the case, who knows? It's always interesting, and I've said for a few weeks that there's something not right in the whole system, and you haven't got to be psychic or a genius, frankly, to see that there is a problem, because you have to look at the Dow and the DAX, how the markets keep being pumped to the upside when completely irrational and illogical when you actually look at the fundamentals. No implied volatility today because the US was closed yesterday as far as the futures, the cash was concerned. Today we've got a minor celebrity from the Bank of England. Saunders is going to speak. ZEW sentiment from Europe at 10. And also the economic sentiment as well, which is actually, if you look at the forecast, is downgraded there. So that will be interesting as well. That's a big drop. Keep an eye on the DAX at 10 a.m. And let's start off with the Dow. And you can see we're still stuck in the sideways move here. Market up yesterday. Attempting to move back to the upside there. But again, it'll need to move to the upside and break to get to the all-time high that was made here recently. But at the moment, very quiet on the overnight. Whatever contagion is happening in China hasn't been passed on yet to the West. And you can see yesterday the market just moving to the upside. One big move to the upside for the Dow, but later on in the session, the market, in the evening, the market coming back to the DP in the 30-minute chart there. Meanwhile, in the DAX, again, straight back up yesterday. No surprise, the market topping out at between 78 and 89. No surprise there at all. We spoke about this yesterday's alert. Again, the market's going to have to take its direction today. There's not much news apart from the two items at 10 a.m. for the German DAX, which again will be interesting, even though they're medium impact. Those are big figure forecast differences for this. In the 30-minute sort of an inside view of what went on yesterday, you can see the market moving higher from the futures, moving all the way up till 4 and then drifting back, but not as much as the Dow has done overnight. They're finding support at yesterday's closed way above the DP at the moment and the 200 MA as well. The 2-minute overnight, so you can see there a bit of a bounce going on at the moment. I'm recording at 6:20 a.m. So a bit of interesting to see this moving up slightly. It normally takes until we get the kickoff of the futures at 7 a.m, but moving up there slightly at the moment. Stuck in a bit of a range, heading back towards that top of that range at the moment. Meanwhile, in the metals, it looks like silver's going to get hammered today. You can see it already on the overnight. I don't know what's happening with this drawing tool this morning. It seems to have a mind of its own. Yeah, we can see that it's already being hammered to the downside overnight, which is really odd given what is to believe with what's going on in China. This should be supported, but it's not. I'd expect this to pull back significantly today. They're going to take advantage after the holiday yesterday, and this is where you're probably looking back to is below the $23 area, or $24 area I should say, is going to be key for this pullback in this market, unless they wish to reverse it, of course. But for me, you can see already you've got that weakness there. You see it drifting down. They attempted to move it up, and now it's been moving down sharply there. But we'll see. We're also below yesterday's low as well. Gold showing the same picture, but not as aggressive as we're seeing in silver there. And the dollar attempting to move higher, but not making any great strides. So the move in silver is, again, I suspect, because it's overnight in Asia, very quiet, allowing them to bring the market back at this time, which again you can see just by looking at the daily chart of the US dollar and the 30-minute there. Bit of a move to the upside, but nothing to write home about at all. As far as that's concerned, but we'll see as we go through the day. But if there's any opportunity for JP Morgan to hammer the price, they will do. You don't have to worry about that. They will certainly take advantage. So just a quick look inside of yesterday's action. You can see that in the morning the market moving sharply to the upside. This is in the pre-market as the futures opened. Prices then trading sideways. Bit of indecision on the open of the cash market, but then breaking to the upside, which is exactly what we expected. Trading up to 62% there in the daily chart. Market stopping at 89% in the intraday from here back to here at the 62%, or tying in with the 62% in the daily chart. Market rests, then you'll see eventually the market breaking to the upside, which took until the mid-morning in order to do this. As you'll see, prices holding, coming back there, holding at the R1 there, and the previous day's high, which is Friday's high, before the market then eventually moving back to that 89% that we had marked up there. And then through this, the US holiday there indicated, and then prices managing to move to the upside, as you can see there, and it was just straight up for 50 points, as you'll see the market then run out of steam. And there you can see back in the daily chart, we're just through the 78 and the 89 there. I've removed the 78 looking and expecting it to go to the 89, but it didn't quite do that during yesterday's session, and then just drifting back. So between 78 and 89, which we saw in the daily there, you can see it there. So today it will be interesting to see what they have in store, what news they've got to move the market to the upside. Like I say, the key to this, I suppose, will be 10 a.m. with the German news for the German DAX, unless of course they have any sort of leak, and then they'll move the market accordingly and preempt it. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I'll let you know, but as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.